and unaccompanied asylum-seeking children disappeared from Home Office-provided hotels. And we've been investigating what happened to them.
Of the 200 that remain missing, 88% are Albanian national.
What began as a response to the small boats crisis has now become entrenched and needs to stop.
We already know that these children are at higher risk of going missing, and we already know that they're vulnerable because they are so alone.
Some 50 people were seen landing on the beach at Dungeness in Kent. The group included women and young children. The government says it was taking substantial steps to tackle the unacceptable problem of illegal migration.
With local councils unable to cope with an influx of unaccompanied asylum-seeking children, the Home Office began turning everyday hotels into what essentially became unregistered children's homes. The length of the stay in such temporary accommodations should be less than 35 days before being moved to dispersal accommodation. Some of these children have been in hotels for months. In January 2023, the Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick said that more than 4,600 asylum-seeking children had been accommodated in 6 hotels since July 2021, and 440 of them had gone missing. Some were later found, but over 100 remain missing, a situation that has led to ministers being criticised.
On the 25th of May 2022, outside a Brighton hotel, where nearly 60 unaccompanied asylum-seeking children were being accommodated, a car pulled up. 3 children climbed inside. They were taken away with the drivers hoping to reach London. Instead, the police found the vehicle, arrested 2 male drivers, and returned the children to the hotel that they had been trafficked from.
Asylum-seeking children should be considered particularly vulnerable due to their traumatic circumstances that they have experienced before coming to the UK. Once in the UK, hostile policies and precarious situations continue to contribute to their experience of trauma. Their age, race, and language are also used against them in the media, frequently described in headlines as men of fighting age, coming from a culture that mistreats women, unable to speak English, and likely to commit a crime if granted asylum in the country.
Our position as outsiders means we will never fully understand the complicated relationship that unaccompanied asylum-seeking children may have with their traffickers, and why they might choose to leave the hotels in spite of the risks of exploitation and grooming. We also don't know how it might feel to have fled from home only to find yourself facing yet more trauma in a country you thought would provide you with safety, security, and potential for the future. We instead have to rely on whistleblowers and the few known facts there are about this situation. From this limited information, we can begin to see why many of these children choose to leave with traffickers, given the environment of emotional and racist abuse, unreasonable surveillance, lack of adequate access to education, healthcare, and social integration in the hotels, all while trying to cope with an unfamiliar country, unfamiliar language, and unfamiliar people that they can't trust. Often, they already have a connection with the traffickers, as they may have been the ones to help them make the journey to the UK.
The UK High Court ruled that this system of accommodating children in hotels for months on end was unlawful, as it was only meant to be used in emergency situations for very short periods of time. The actions of Kent County Council were also found unlawful, in breach of its duties under the Children's Act 1989, by failing to accommodate them and look after them, notified to them by the Home Office. In September 2023, the Home Office was told that all children must be removed out of the Home Office hotels and into local authority care. If any children were placed in a hotel after the 22nd of September, they must be transferred within 5 working days. The Home Office admitted that in violation of this ruling, they continued to use the Brighton's hotels to accommodate nearly 100 newly arrived children.
Help me, save me, help, save me, help me.
Every day in these home office hotels feels like an eternity, stuck behind foreign walls and trapped in a relentless cycle of loneliness and uncertainty. I am so far from everything I've ever known. The longing I feel for home, for the warmth of familiarity, is an aching deep inside my chest. These sterile, unfamiliar hallways are cold. The important people here are too. Polished smiles and bureaucratic mannerisms, ignorant of the turmoil brewing inside me. Keeping me here, that's their job, right? Doesn't matter what happens to me once I'm inside.
The important people aren't at all what I thought they'd be. I had heard stories about how they didn't like us, that they didn't like that we were coming to their country, but I didn't think it would be as bad as this. They don't even believe me when I tell them I'm just a child. They think some of us lie about our age to get better treatment. Well, if this is what they call better treatment for children, I can't imagine how bad it is for the adults. My race, my skin, my colour, my accent, and the eyes of the important people, they're all just reminders that I am an outsider, that I don't belong.
No one understands how I feel. No one even tries. Maybe the person who brought me here, the one who promised me safety and a better life in a new country, longs for home too. Only they could understand the desperation that drove me to their boat, to make a journey no one would make if there were any other choice. I survived, so they must have kept me safe, right? It doesn't feel safe behind these walls. Their promises feel hollow now. Is it wrong then that I still trust them more than any of the people here? At least they know what home is like, even if they did take me away from it.
I am exhausted and in so much pain, in ways I didn't even think possible. I am a number here, just one of many children kept behind hotel walls, where everything is foreign to me, where I long for a home that I had to leave. I used to believe in humanity that saw beyond my citizenship, that would offer safety and belonging. I came here in hope for a better life, but it seems that the chance of a good future is being kept from me on the other side of these walls.